Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to our little show called
Roll with the Troll.
Roll with the Troll, and I'm here, of course, with the voice of reason.
That
You're going to
is
be
me.
rolling with her as well. Hey, it's been a fun journey. We have reviewed 49 of the 50 Cobra Kai episodes so far. It is time to review Cobra Kai Season 5, Episode 10.
Head of the Snake.
This is the last episode of the whole series.
Yeah, it is not.
For now. No, for now it is. For now it is of the whole series. But for now, there's going to be more.
So far.
We're going to get a Season 6.
Series so far.
So far. We know we're going to get a Season 6, but that's a whole nother story. That's another video.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this fucking episode.
Yes. Yeah.
This season has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
After the first couple episodes, especially.
Yeah.
Now I think that this is such. I can see why the actors kept saying before the season came out that they were all saying this. Mary Mauser was saying this. William Zabka was saying this. Macchio. Everyone was saying this season is crazy. It's a totally different kind of show now.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, different kind of show. What are they doing?
Yeah.
I think what they were getting at was more blood.
Oh my gosh.
More blood than we've ever seen by far.
An appendage.
A what?
Off. An appendage came off.
Doesn't appendage mean penis? Did a penis come off?
My, no.
Okay,
no.
so a penis came off. I didn't notice that, but what's the reason? Always notices anything involving a penis.
Why do I open these doors?
All I remember was a guy's finger getting cut off.
Yeah.
But I don't remember any penises. So anyway, this episode was phenomenal. And also I really liked that we kept the jokes appropriate again. Like this season did that better.
Yeah.
The jokes didn't need to get to ruin all the intense moments.
Yeah, I had that exact same feeling.
Right?
That the humor in this season is really balanced and really natural. There wasn't anything that was like so hokey or over the top that it was just like, come on, you know?
Well, I think there was some of that earlier in the season, but not as much as the other seasons.
But not as much as in previous seasons.
And not in this episode at all. This episode, there were a lot of times they could have thrown in more comedy, and they just didn't bother. They just kept it more serious.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the beginning of this episode.
Yes.
All right. I was absolutely fooled.
Yes, me too.
I thought for sure they were going to give us a cliffhanger.
My jaw dropped. We've now seen the whole season like multiple times, but the first time we saw it, my jaw dropped at that very beginning scene.
I thought for sure Kreese
because we thought that Kreese was gone.
It seemed very much like Kreese was going to be killed off, or at least like there was going to be a big cliffhanger. And honestly, you think about it from this perspective, Martin Kove is an older guy. And since they're not coming back to shoot season 6 right away, since there's going to be a real delay, when you're that age, anything can happen over the next year and a half.
Oh, don't even say it.
Well, look, it wouldn't be a dumb idea to write the show in a way that if he can't return for some reason, if the actor can't return, then you could still carry on the show without him and give kind of an exit, right? So I thought, all right, that's what they're doing. It's going to be a while before we get season 6. Before they can even shoot it, they want to have a contingency plan in case the actor can't come back for whatever reason. And that to me seemed like what they were going to do was leave us on a cliffhanger where maybe Kreese lives, maybe Kreese dies, and then either way he's got kind of a nice send off because he was explaining to the doctor, he was saying how, what his life and what it means. And then she's telling him that he can still have meaning even in here.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, what bullshit. If you're locked up in prison and you're in your late 70s, oh my God, the misery. You can't find balance like that. You can't find a meaning. It just sucks. You'll never have balance like that. Not with them. Not with Allie. Not with me. That's back to the first Karate Kid. But anyway, so that was a really interesting storyline to have with Kreese at the beginning. I just
broke my heart.
I really thought this was going to be the way that when people keep saying they're going to redeem Kreese, that this would be a junior version of redemption. That he won't be redeemed with Johnny or Daniel or anything, but that at least everybody would know that here on the outside that he went off trying to stop a fight and trying to do something nice and whatever. And then I thought, well, that's kind of a cheap way to do it, I guess. But okay, I guess it works. So then, of course, at the end of the episode, when we find out that the only reason he even drew the doctor in close to him, was so he could take her fucking pass.
You love that.
I think that's the cool, because I was really fooled.
Yeah.
I really, really did think like, no, they're really going for it now. they're going for the big end with Kreese. And then he just stole her pass to get out of there. I just think that was the fucking coolest thing I've ever seen. I love it. I love it so much. That was so brilliant. And I'll tell you, I can't say it's classic Kreese.
No.
Because in the original films, Kreese never behaved this way. Kreese wasn't like, he was somewhat manipulative, but he wasn't this super smart, like, kind of tricky kind of guy. I don't think that was Kreese back then.
Yeah, he didn't have to be, I guess. So maybe that's part of it. But yeah, this is a new side of Kreese that we're seeing right here.
Yeah, and throughout this show, I think this show angled Kreese differently from the beginning. But anyway, let's talk about everything else going on here.
Yeah, a lot. So the next thing that happens in this episode is the guys find out that Mike Barnes is the one who has hijacked their limo, and the four of them get into it outside, and three of them, minus Daniel, decide to go over and beat the you-know-what out of Silver, leaving Daniel by the side of the road.
Do you think it was a little hard to believe that they'd leave Daniel out there?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Even in that drunken phase?
Yeah.
I don't know. Chosen wouldn't. There's no way Chosen would do that. I don't know.
He had a Long Island iced tea. He was feeling no pain.
Yeah, I don't know. Chosen was pretty drunk, but I don't think he would have really let him. For the story, it worked.
Yeah.
But
you mean have you ever been left by the side of the road when you were out with a drunken group of guys?
My friends aren't dicks.
It was just me.
And I told you I was sorry for that. All right. So they go riding through the night. By the way, how many little jokes were there? How many references were there in that whole scene to so many other movies?
Yeah.
Like we had Chosen doing a Mr. Miyagi thing again. Chosen uses a lot of Mr. Miyagi's lines.
Yeah.
That Chosen himself would have never heard.
He is the modern day Miyagi.
Yeah, he is. It's so many Miyagi lines. And then we even got a Back to the Future reference.
Yeah.
When Johnny throws the Coors and he says, "Get your damn hands off him."
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Throwing that in was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
So they ride through the night. They got the best line Chosen had was, "I got Silver's headdress."
Yes.
It's just feeling the
that
fire.
Was one of those times where there was humor, but it was
it fit.
It just fit.
It fit. It wasn't slapstick, take you out of the whole thing humor and try to hit you over the head with the frying pan. It was just more like, yep, that's true. Yep. He does have his address. God, when they showed up to his house, I loved it. Think how perfect this was. We had all three of Daniel's opponents from the first three films riding on together, leaving Daniel in the woods.
Yep.
So they could go after Silver.
Yeah.
That is perfect writing for me.
That is great.
Perfect.
Yes.
Then they show up at Silver's, and then I love how Johnny stops Barnes from kicking open the door. And he goes, "No, that's solid oak. I'll do it." But that's how low Johnny thinks of his own body. Is that he can destroy himself, but he doesn't want Mike Barnes to have to break his foot. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
The guy he just threw a Coors can at.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh my God. So then they get in there. I love the way that the show did get very this was a very traditional kind of way to set up the good guys versus the bad guys. They go to his lair, right? Normally it'd be a lair.
Yeah.
Like Skeletor's lair. Skeletor snaps his fingers against his henchmen.
Yeah.
The henchmen are right there. He's got them teed up and ready to go because he knew he was going to be invaded. The henchmen come out. Skeletor or the Bond villain or whoever they're invading or the good guys are invading would sit on his throne but then fight the one main guy. And they did exactly that here. He fights Chosen. Yeah, Johnny and Barnes fight the other guys. I just thought this was such a really clever way to make this feel very Star Wars, very Emperor, very classic, and yet still give it kind of some realism because they weren't going to his lair or to a dojo or anything this time. They were just going to his house. And he left the door open for them when he saw them coming through the... You know what I mean? He wanted to let them in. To me, that made sense. Like Silver wanted to let them in. He left the door open deliberately because he saw them, the vehicle bursting in on his iPad or whatever.
He didn't want damage to his door.
No, but I think also I thought it was clear to me when he makes that line about what you guys are doing right now is called trespassing.
Yeah.
And that means whatever we do to you now, which by the way, that's not how trespassing works, especially in California. Like California is as liberal as it gets. They let criminals walk right into your house all the time and you can't do a fucking thing about it. So he's wrong about that. But okay, for the story it works. So he's got his posse against this posse. There's a big war. If I had Terry Silver's house, I wouldn't want to get blood and guts anywhere.
Right.
I mean, that's a nice place.
Yeah.
And did you kind of think maybe he was going to try to seduce Sensei Kim for a little bit there?
I did not. No.
You didn't get that vibe?
No.
I start to wonder sometimes, is it really just business, or does he want to hook her up with some
no, I don't
some
think so.
silver sausage?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No. I did not get that sense at all. Did you really, or are you just making fun?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I get kind of lost in the sarcasm sometimes.
Yeah.
See my first episode from years ago.
Right.
Nobody could tell if I was kidding or not, including me.
That was fun.
It was very weird. Anyway, so now here's the weirdest thing. We have Daniel, who's been defense only his whole life. And Mr. Miyagi's been teaching him, defense. Here he is, ready to kill 3 innocent men for not wanting to drive him home. I can't get over the scene. Daniel storms up
You
to
make
this
a
guy.
really big to-do about this.
This is
scene.
insane because you're not understanding the severity of what
I'm
happened.
sure I'm not.
Daniel storms up to this guy and tells him, you have to drive me home.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, why don't you just walk it off? The guy was very nice to Daniel. Just said, why don't you walk it off, pal? And Daniel goes, look. Now Daniel's, you don't say,
His wife, he thought his wife was about to be attacked.
It's not these guys' fault. You don't do that to these guys.
No, but I mean, it's not unreasonable to be desperate and ask for
reasonable. I don't give a listen. If something was happening to anybody in my life, I'm not going to force somebody else and be ready to fight them so that I can take their. Was Daniel going to take their vehicle, their truck, and drive it to? Is that what he was going to do?
Who knows? We didn't get that far.
Daniel's out of control. Look at him. His shirt wasn't even tucked in. So he was a real maniac. So then those guys are ready to fight Daniel, and then of course we have Stingray come pulling up with that another great movie line. This episode is all about other movies,
right?
When Stingray says, "Come with me if you want to live."
I loved it.
Fantastic, a lot of fun references. All right, so what do you think now when Johnny is fighting like 4 senseis in the house? Because Barnes went down pretty fast.
Oh, the brain damage in that fight for everybody, not just Johnny, but for Mike Barnes and even some of those other senseis too. I mean, there were a lot of blows to the head.
The Barnes fight was short enough where I'm okay with that one. I believe it.
They hit him so hard on the back of the head with something very heavy.
Yeah, I know, but still, I mean, that one I could deal with. The Johnny fight against 4 like really badass senseis, I don't buy that at all. Johnny would have been dead. When he shows up at the end,
he took a lot of damage.
Oh my God, he would have been fucking
damage.
And they really were going to behead him. Did you see that shit with the?
I know.
They were going to behead him, and Mike Barnes saved Johnny's life.
Oh my God,
yeah. Wow, fucking wicked. So and then Chosen. Oh my God, that fight with Chosen and Terry was incredible. Yeah, that was one of the greatest things I've ever fucking seen on television.
That was great.
I love that they both acknowledged that this is a fight to the death. We've seen Chosen fight to the death twice, and neither time was to the death.
Right.
Something happened both times where everybody lived. What are you, a ghost or something?
Yeah.
Where somehow he survived, everybody survived. So that was pretty intense. And then we see the Daniel fight with Silver.
Yeah, in the dojo.
I do think this one could have been done better. I don't think it looked very. Again, Daniel's. I don't think Machio can fake a fight all that well.
No, I mean, and it was short.
Really,
relatively speaking. I mean, the fight at Silver's house goes on for pretty much the entire length of the episode.
Yeah.
And this fight between Daniel and Silver in the dojo didn't last but just a few minutes. But I don't know. I kind of liked how he kept pulling his shirt down after every. after every move.
Yeah. It was still great. It's just I do wish that we had Jessica there. I think it would have made more sense if Jessica had been there to round out the Karate Kid 3 influence.
If there was a plausible way to put her in that scene, that would have been fun.
That would have been fun. She could have visited them. It would have worked out. And I'm surprised none of the kids were videoing it. I thought that was a little odd.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nobody pulled out their phone and videoed. I mean, that's
not
fucking...
a single iPhone was out for that whole thing.
Everybody should have been
unrealistic.
Oh, fucking having that one. And then when Silver says that he basically gives the impression to Daniel as they're about to fight, and to Carmen and to Amanda, that he's basically killed Chosen and Johnny.
Yeah.
And Barnes for that matter. I thought that was really intense too.
Yes.
That was. I don't know. I just love this. This episode was so
good,
through the roof, so crazy. I hope the future seasons can keep escalating because this is fantastic.
10 out of 10.
I am not afraid to kill, says Chosen.
Yes.
It was just a flesh wound.
And I'm not afraid to die. And the way he delivered that, yeah.
And then when he tells Chosen, when Chosen does get him on the ground, Oh, actually, in the water, I think it was. And he says, "Go ahead, do it."
Yes.
I was born a warrior. Yeah,
I was meant to die on the battlefield.
I'm more and more convinced that he's got terminal illness of some sort.
Yes, definitely.
And that he's making that pretty clear that that's why he wants to go out this way instead.
Yeah.
What a fucking cool bunch of stories.
Yeah.
This is awesome. And then
We're gonna
Kreese,
wrap it up.
well, we'll find out what happens with Kreese. Guys, thanks so much for checking this out. Be sure to like and subscribe so you get more dumb
Please.
videos like this. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.